Hi everyone, this is Nishtha from Nish Online Interior Design, Paint Color Consultation and Home Decor Content Writing. Today, we'll be discussing a paint color so calm, fabulous and absolutely one of your favorites if you're truly fond of the green-grey paint colors. Well yes, today I'm going to be discussing about the Sherwin Williams Color of the Year 2022 and that is Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog. Sharing synonyms with calm, tranquility, serenity, Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog makes a dashing statement in the interior design industry, and ever since this paint color has been bestowed the title of Color of the Year 2022, it's been winning hearts and hearts of homeowners and designers even down the line. This green-grey paint color is quite calm, neutral and will definitely make you fall in love with it again and again. Well, there have been a couple of times that homeowners have requested a green-grey paint color for their entryways, for their bedrooms, for them to feel at home all the time. And there have been a couple of times that I've recommended Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog over any of those paint colors, over any of those other green-grey paint colors. And you know why? Because this paint color has just the perfect balance of warmth and cool to it, and it's neither very dark nor very light. Hence, Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog on my books is definitely the king of these grey-green paint colors. Let's say Sherwin Williams Sea Salt is way too light and Sherwin Williams Pewter Green is way too dark. And this color stands somewhere at the perfect position which can make a beautiful statement in any corner of your home. So, are you excited to know what Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog has to offer to you today? Well, in this color review, I'm going to be discussing everything you need to know about this beautiful grey-green paint color, how it behaves in different lighting conditions, what other colors best complement this paint color, some similar color options, trim paint colors, and everything that this paint color has to offer you today. So, let's get started. To surround yourself with Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog, you're bound to feel much at peace and calm after a long day at work. So, especially if you tend to use this paint color in your entryways, your kitchens as well as your bedrooms, you're bound to feel at home as soon as you enter your home, and you're bound to feel much relaxed and stress-free from a long day at work. Well, trust me, this is the perfect pastel you could be looking for, especially if you're fond of the green-grey paint colors. So homeowners often inquire whether Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog is a warm tone or a cool tone paint color. And I would say that this paint color stands somewhere in between. So it's neither very warm nor very cool. So if you compare a swatch of Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog with Sherwin Williams Clary Sage or Swell Sage, you'll see that this color has just a perfect touch of green, grey and a little touch of olive brown to it. But on the other hand, other colors like Clary Sage and Swell Sage have more brown to it, which makes this paint color more earthy and mud-like. Well, I would say that Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog is more drawn towards the cooler end of the scale. It's not very cool and icy unlike the other blue and green paint colors, but at the same time it offers just the perfect touch of comfort that you've been always looking for in your home. So I have often been asked about what are the undertones of Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog. And I would say that Evergreen Fog has a deep grey undertone. So Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog is dominantly a grey-green paint color that has a perfect blend of green and grey to it. It doesn't have any more grey to it or green to make it more bright or subtle. But with the perfect amount of quantity of grey and green in this paint color, it makes a fabulous statement in any corner of your home. Other than grey and green, another undertone that you're bound to observe is greyish. So I know you're quite confused here and you're wondering where did greige come from. Well, I would say that greige is definitely like a very teeny tiny tinge of warm grey paint color that you may find in Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog to make it slightly warm and earthy but not very dominant. So you can even ignore this aspect and just consider this paint color to be a perfect green grey paint color and go ahead with the walls, the cabinets, the furniture pieces, and the list goes on and on. So just like any other paint color, Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog can equally look slightly different in different lighting conditions and compass directions. So let's say for your north facing rooms, Evergreen Fog is bound to lean more towards the grey, but not a very dominant grey. The green that is existing in this paint color is bound to uplift the paint color in all lighting conditions, even when you intend to use this paint color in a north facing room. On the other hand, in the south facing rooms and the west facing rooms, you're bound to feel the true beauty of this paint color. It can brighten up during the day. It can reflect the utmost earthiness and warmth during the afternoon hours in your south and the west facing rooms. On the other hand, in the east facing rooms, this paint color can tend to look slightly dull, and I wouldn't call it dingy. I would say that it may slightly look dull towards the evening. So in that case, especially if you intend to use evergreen fog in the east facing rooms, you may have to use ample artificial light to keep up that balance. So the next most important consideration that you need to keep a check on is the LRV of a paint color. So the LRV stands for light reflectance value, and this value determines how light or dark a paint color is. So the higher the LRV, the lighter the paint color is. And in this situation, Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog has an LRV of 30, which means that it's somewhere in the medium end of the scale. It's not very dark, it's not very light, but with just the ample amount of depth to it, this color can be used on all the walls of a medium to a larger size space. In a smaller size room, I would recommend that you choose this paint color only as an accent. Don't worry, I'm going to be discussing all of that later. So if you're wondering if you can use Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog in the entire house and how to use it, well, let me give you some tips and tricks here. Well, Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog cannot be used everywhere in your home. You can only use this paint color as a base or an accent in various areas of your home. Let's say for your kitchen cabinets, Evergreen Fog makes a remarkable statement on the island table, your lower cabinets, your upper cabinets. So in your home, you can tend to use Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog. Let's say in your kitchen cabinets, probably one of the vanities in your bathroom, your mudroom cabinets, probably an accent wall in one of the bedrooms and an accent door. But more than that, this color would be too much and you must avoid that. So now you know that if you're really looking to incorporate evergreen fog in your home, this is how you have to play with this color in various areas of your home and just add a pop of interest in various spaces and not use it everywhere. Here's a well-curated pre-made color palette that I have created for Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog on Etsy. It enlists all the exact colors that pair with evergreen fog color, including how and where to use them in your whole house color palette. I have included 5 color palettes with Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog and complementary hues, along with how to use each of those paint colors in various areas of your home. You'll also get the detailed material and fabric palette with each of these Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog color palettes. Another bonus is paint planner and a detailed guide on paint sheens for various areas of your home. You can easily download this pre-packaged color palette on my Etsy shop as well as the digital products category on my website. Now, if you're looking for where to use Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog in your homes, well, here's a long list of ideas that you can keep a check on. I know that you've been waiting for this part, and I'm going to be sharing some very interesting inspiration from Instagram, Pinterest, House, and you would absolutely love all of them. So here are some inspirations for you to take inspiration from and consider this paint color for your next remodel project. Well, this earthy, sophisticated and calm green grey paint color can be used in any corner of your home. You can use it on the accent bedroom walls, the living and dining room walls, the exterior walls, the entryway door of your home, the kitchen cabinets as well as the island, the laundry cabinets, the mudroom cabinets, your home office, your kids' play area, your kids' bedrooms, probably on the wainscoting, and a focal piece of furniture. So now that you've decided to use Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog and you truly loved all of the inspirations before, let me tell you this color is slightly flexible but not as flexible as other paint colors. So you have to be slightly careful with what you pair this paint color with. So in general, Evergreen Fog pairs beautifully with warm or cool tone whites. So here is where you get an advantage. If you have a cooler tone color palette in your home, you can absolutely use Evergreen Fog. But at the same time, if you even have warmer elements and warmer flooring, you can still use this paint color in your home. So you can pair this paint color with warmer or creamy or cooler whites. You can incorporate greige, beige, taupe. You can even make use of bronze paint colors, some accents of mustard, and you can also choose warm white paint colors with a deep yellow undertone. Now here's a list of Sherwin Williams whites that go with Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog. Here's a list of Sherwin Williams beige, greige and taupe that go with Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog. Here's a list of Sherwin Williams greys that go with Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog. So now comes another important aspect that you need to consider when choosing Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog for your home. So there might be some cases where you're not really fond of the grey or the green in it, and you may be looking for some other similar alternatives of this paint color. In that situation, this color list is definitely going to help you. So number one, I'm going to be discussing the similar paint colors that share tons and tons of similarities with Evergreen Fog. And if you don't like the characteristics, you can actually consider one of these paint colors which can equally give you a similar vibe. So my first recommendation is Cornwall Slate. So Cornwall Slate is another beautiful grey-green paint color by Sherwin Williams. So Cornwall Slate has an LRV of 29, which means it's just very teeny tiny darker than Evergreen Fog, which sits somewhere at 30. So if you want your grey-green paint color to look more earthy and more drawn towards the little brown undertones, then Cornwall Slate is definitely going to help you with that. It's not very warm, but it has a deep balance of grey, brown and green to uplift the paint color and make it feel earthy at all times. So my second recommendation would be Sherwin Williams Acacia Haze. So Acacia Haze shares tons and tons of similarities with Evergreen Fog. It tends to appear much like this paint color, but it has a slight difference. So number one, Sherwin Williams Acacia Haze has an LRV of 32, which means it's slightly lighter than Evergreen Fog. But if you look at the bigger picture, the difference wouldn't be much. But the actual difference that lies is the undertones. So Acacia Haze has a deep green, grey as well as slate blue undertone. So in various lighting conditions, you can also see that the color reflects a bit of blue, but that is not very dominant. So here's another color that you can recommend in place of Evergreen Fog. Now lastly, another thing that I would like to mention here is the trim paint colors that go with Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog. So for Evergreen Fog, you must definitely keep in mind to choose Sherwin Williams Pure White as a statement on the moldings, your trims as well as your ceilings. So this is a neutral white paint color, is definitely to go for this paint color, and you can definitely use pure white on the ceilings when you have Evergreen Fog on the walls as well as the cabinets. Another recommendation would be high reflective white. That paint color can make a wonderful statement. So don't hold back and get started with your next remodel project. So What are your thoughts on Sherwin Williams Evergreen Fog? Did you like this color, or are you confused about this color? Do you think this paint color would not go in your space, or do you think this color would absolutely make a wonderful statement in your home? Well, as far as you're using Evergreen Fog in your home, just keep a note of how beautiful and versatile this paint color is. It can be used for cooler toned color palettes as well as warmer toned color palettes. Evergreen Fog can make a beautiful statement with your rustic wooden textures. If you have a cool tone wood stain, definitely a yes, yes. If you have warmer tone honey oak statements in your home, Evergreen Fog is still bound to look versatile with those finishes. So that's what the true beauty of this paint color, and that is why I would say that this paint color of the year 2022 was an absolute success. So if you're looking to use this paint color in your home, do drop me a link below. I would love to see some pictures of how this paint color turned up in your space. And don't forget to check out my website and my Etsy shop for the pre-packaged color palette. I'll see you all next Monday. Bye.